let's just tune in again, and we're just going to begin the practice once again. So let's just take our hands all the way up to the sky. So you can be doing this first part of the practice here, either on your chair or on the floor. I'm also using a little cushion. So reaching, nice and tall. And then as you exhale, I'm just drawing the hands down to the heart. Just grounding and anchoring yourself into the space. Let's go again, breathing in. And with a really big reach, breathe it in, and then hold that breath, squeeze the pelvic floor. And exhale. Do one more. Reach. Hold the breath, squeeze pelvic. And exhale. And if you wish, you can bring your hands to your heart, relax the shoulders, a little bow down into the heart space. So just a few little housekeeping before we begin, before we really tune into ourselves and the theme of today's class. So we will do a seated practice, as I mentioned. So either on the floor or on the chair. We will do a little bit of standing practice. We're going to do our breath work as usual, but we'll also come down to lying on the floor. So just make sure that you have whatever props and supports you need so that you are really comfortable for the practice. I'm just checking this, make sure my camera's in the right position. All right, so just really tuning in. You can have your hands on the heart, and just remember another one of the ways that we can tune into the heart space is just the tapping. So right on the thymus, just tapping, or of course just planting the hands on the chest. Just breathing into the heart. Maybe even just making some little circles around that area as well, up and down the sternum. I find could be quite nice as well. And if you've had a stressful day, just tapping up in this sort of hollow part just below the shoulders. Some pressure points there. I'm not good with the names of all the pressure points, but I know that they're good ones for helping to calm the body. They might be connected to the spleen. All right. So just tuning in. So we'll speak into today's theme for our class. So you're welcome to sort of sit, sort of tuning into yourself and having eyes closed, or if you want to connect with me on the screen, it's up to you. So before we do that, though, I did post into the chat that beautiful song, The Power of Now. And I've used this song many times in my workshops, but I hadn't listened to it in quite a while, and it felt like I love the way that we can just be guided to revisit something. And I just had my earphones in, and I just, so it was like my whole being was just infused with all of the resonance of every part of the fullness of this song. And as if you've listened to it, I'm sure you'll agree that the words are quite profound. And I really felt that it was quite a special one to visit today, because it is I think it's the Mayan New Year, or it's that dawning of the age of Aquarius. So there's this sense of this Aquarian energy coming in, and when I was listening to this song, I just allowed my body to move in this really sort of feminine way, just sort of exploring where my body took me. And so this can be a really beautiful practice, something that you can do in like less than 5 minutes if you know that you don't have a lot of time, but you just want to really tune into yourself. And of course, you may have other songs that have the same sort of effect on you. So I'd really love to hear, if you got a chance to do that little practice, how was it for you? So you can share that into our messenger chat. So coming back to the theme of our class, So one thing that has been really, it's been quite prevalent for me as we come into the fullness of the energy of 2024, what's been showing up in my own being is the manifestation in physical form of, like, if I make any poor choices, especially to do with food, it might be choices that I've been able to manage with more ease up until now. And what I've felt, what's manifested in my body, is that there's probably a little bit more of a consequence. So a simple example, what might be that it just in the last, say, 10 days, I obviously don't drink a lot, but I don't mind having like a nice gin and tonic on a Friday night, or something like that. And typically I can handle 2 or even 3 of those quite okay. But just in the last week, probably about a week ago, I had 2, and it absolutely floored me. Like I did not feel well in my being. It actually really made me feel very, very unwell. And then just last night it was probably the first one that I'd had since then. And I had so just one, and same thing. It just really, it's like, yeah, it's just showing up and manifesting in a really like kind of like ding, 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 red flags or something along those lines. And, it's not just alcohol, it could be food choices, it could be just things that you choose to do. And I just tuned into Elizabeth Peru, who's one of my favorite sort of cosmic queens. And she is speaking into 2024 as being a year of our physicality. And I felt really called for the theme to be healing, but I can see how these themes kind of weave in to sort of have this collective purpose. So as we sort of move into the body of our class today, I want you to sit with the question: what ways do I ignore myself? What ways do I not show up for myself? What ways do I abuse myself? What has been evident for you that may have presented as a little bit of a shift, like it has for me this year? What seems to be, is there anything, and perhaps there's nothing for you. So is there anything that is presenting that you don't have quite as much tolerance for? And so it's really nice just to open up, have that invitation to sit with that in conscious awareness and really become aware of what, if anything, is showing up for you. And if nothing is showing up, that's perfectly fine. Just honoring that we are all on individual journeys. So so I think that's a really beautiful one. Just once again, if you feel called to share in the group, it's always really lovely to hear from each other and from you what might be present for you. So having said that, we're going to set the intention of our class around healing that aspect of ourselves that doesn't let me just get the articulation correct. The healing of the aspect of ourself that resists, blocks, or prevents us from showing up for ourselves in fullness, so that we can stay in our own internal alignment. And I know that life can just throw curveballs I am in full acknowledgement of that, having just gone through the second of 2 cyclones in the last couple of weeks. So it's not about being hard on yourself. Do this practice with full compassion, full love in your heart, full loving kindness. So no need to be hard, just seeing it, just being witness, and that's all. And that's quite a powerful practice. And when we just be witness without the judgment of ourselves, we give ourselves an opportunity to heal ourselves. It's our own self-healing. It's that self-healing mechanism that is within you. So let's set that intention. Even if nothing is really evident in the forefront of your mind right now, just trust that if it is there and if it is in the unconscious, that your unconscious is, taking it all in, because it is, and that when it needs to come to the surface, it will. And that everything that you need to receive from today's practice you will receive. All right, so having said all of that, let's just come into our seated position on your chair or on a cushion, on a bolster, whatever feels right for you. You could do this practice kneeling also over a bolster lengthways if you prefer. Just slide a little bit. So we are going to need a little bit of space for our arms. Okay. Now, I will just add again quickly that when I listened to the Power of Now this morning in my practice, I realized that it had been a little while since I'd gifted myself this beautiful divine music in my practice, and how much I missed it. So I know that definitely from the sound perspective, as I'm delivering this class here, it is better, it's more clear without the music. But please know that if it resonates for you, just have your own little Bluetooth speaker in the background. And I do have some beautiful playlists I'm happy to share. I might even make like a resonance practice playlist. And if you feel called to have that on in your background, you most certainly could. Okay, so let's begin. Let's just bring our hands back to the heart. We're going to connect one on the heart, one on the belly. And I just want you to tune into your breath. So let's just take an exhale breath. We might start with our simple square breath. So we're going to exhale, belly back to spine first. 4 counts. And then hold it there, 2, 3, 4. And then breathe in, 2, 3, 4, filling the lungs. And then hold, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. And hold. You can squeeze pelvic floor, 3, 4. And breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. So tummy's contracting back to the spine as we hold and squeeze. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Feel the fullness of your breath here as you hold. Now, as you hold here with this top of this inhale, you can also offer a little bit of a squeeze into the pelvic floor. And then exhale, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze and hold, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in, 2, 3, 4. And hold, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Do 2 more cycles of that breath on your own. In and out through the nose if you can. you've completed that, just bring the hands other side. So let's just bring our hands up to the middle. We're going to make a nice big circle, breathing in. And then we're going to keep the one hand, just bring it forward a little bit, and then just reach this one down like a little sort of twist bit, like a big wide circle. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. So this one will come forward a little bit, reach. And again. We're just making some big circles. Let's go up and down, up and down the back. Making nice big circles. One more. Let's interlace the fingers, just opening up the palms to the sky, side stretch from here. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale, other side. Breathing in. I'm just going to remove my cushion. Breathing in. Good, then inhale and exhale. Let's take our hands behind us now. And I actually sort of changed, if you're using cross legs, I actually cross them like in a normal fashion rather than a yogi fashion. It's better, more stable. And then just extend the arms out if you can. Nice big breath, pressing down into your sit bones. Now, you may only do a little fold forward and draw the hands away from the back. Or if you can go a little further down, that's great. Just working with what feels good. And then inhale to come back up, push through the feet. And then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. So just bring your hands now onto your lap or onto your knees. Keep the eyes closed if you feel comfortable to. I just want you to feel into that physical body now. And just notice, how did the practice feel for you? Has it helped to release and open up parts of the body? Can you feel a little bit of activation anywhere? Maybe even just noticing your hands. Do you feel a little bit more of a tingle? Maybe a little bit more blood flowing through the hands? Really good for our brain to be conscious and to feel that connection to our body and to notice those changes. So we're going to bring our hands out the side now and just work with our little corkscrews here. And I love this one just to help release the shoulder girdle. So especially if you've been working at a computer all day, it's just a nice one just to make some space through those shoulder joints, even down into the arms. Good. All right. Just give those hands a little bit of a rest, put them back down. Let's work with our neck for a moment. So nice tall posture, reaching up through the crown of your head, little circles. So key focus being to extend the neck first and just making nice little circles with your head. Hold your vision right at the top of your spine. So imagine that top joint, the axial joint that connects or supports the base of the skull, is kind of like a chisel, I think, the shape of a chisel. And it kind of pivots. There's a bit like a ball joint, my understanding. I'm not super amazing at anatomy, but that is my limited knowledge of anatomy. And so I just find it's useful sometimes to visualize the place that we're working within our body, and just that simple intention of just inviting a bit more space, a bit more pranic life force energy into that space. Let's change directions. And just noticing where you might feel those threads of tension down the neck. And you can pause at those just to stretch into them a little bit more. Even just noticing your throat as your place of expression. And just take a little moment maybe to hum. You might like to, you could either have your mouth open or closed. Just express a little bit of sound as we do these gentle head movements. Maybe as we do the sound, let's actually just do a head turn. So like what we kind of half of our Brahmi mudra practice. So it's like ah, go all the way across. Ah. And then in the other direction, we'll just get a different sound. Ooh. Just back and forwards each time, just allowing a different expression of sound or hum to reverberate from your vocal cords through your neck. And then slowly come back to the center. And even just it's easy for me because I'm speaking and cueing class. I can feel an instant shift in the resonance of my voice. So even if you just speak a couple of words, say, you know, I am present, I am here, I feel all of my body. Just notice, how does your voice resonate for you? Okay. Let's come back to our arms. So we're going to, let's bring them up to the shoulders and just work a little bit more with our circular movements there. So nice big circles. Just really want to spend a nice amount of time on this upper body. Just get all that life force energy. Heart space is a place where we can sort of, I love this saying by Satguru called too much possibility clouds the heart. Too much information clouds our heart in confusion, which we feel, you know, in our lack of clarity. And so just working into the heart space and the arms, just doing nice flowing movements can really just to get that life force energy moving through us, moving through this part of the body, just help to move some of that, shift some of that confusion. Really allowing anything that's trapped in the body to be no longer trapped. So I'm just doing like a little sort of figure of eight movement with my shoulders as I shift side to side, a little bit intuitive, but just seeing what feels really nice in my body. So remember, no right, no wrong. We do need safe alignment in our practice, but other than that, it can be pretty free and flexible to work with whatever works for you. So let's change that direction, which feels a little bit odd for my body. It's not as natural and easy to change that direction. Just see what shows up for you. Good. Just do a couple more of those. Don't worry. Even just noticing if you feel clunky, just acknowledge I feel clunky and I'm aware, and that is okay. Let's work with some circles. So we're starting to bring it down a little bit into this solar plexus area now. When we work with these circles into the sacral area, a place of the element of water and fire for the solar plexus. And also the ground. So we've got that element of earth in that we can really tap into our connection with the earth, the feeling of gravity in our body. And we feel that when we sort of shift side to side, sit bone to sit bone. So obviously if you're on your chair, just do this practice, you know, with your legs a little bit wider apart, just use your knees and just work with it like this. This way, sorry, finding my direction. And if you're sitting on the ground, I think I did this last week as well, you can just do it with straight legs as well. Really nice. And a nice, just exploring the range of motion that you can get here with your circles. So if it feels good to make really big ones, do so. Yeah, so sit bone to sit bone, feeling that earth energy. And then as you come forward, just notice, you know, the hands supporting you. And that's that pushing away from the earth to support yourself. All right, change directions if you haven't already. And let's do this second part of this practice just in silence. I want you to really tune into yourself. I want you to imagine this sort of spiraling energy flowing through your power center. Breathing with it. Just choosing whatever pace feels right for you. Quick circles, slow circles. Good. Right. And then let's slowly bring our circles back to the center. And as you find that center again and that little bit of a sway stops, just notice that internal alignment, that physical central channel of your vessel, your body. Can you feel the sit bones on the ground or the chair? Observe your spine. And if your spine has its own little sort of individual shape and you don't feel like it's a direct upright, just don't feed into that. Just think of it less of the solid bone structure, and start to see your central channel as kind of like this energy tube up and down the middle of your body, sort of in alignment with your spine. And start to feel into that space. You might even sort of shift a little bit in circles, in just very little circles, just to sort of see if you can experiment with the edges of that channel. How does it feel? So it's it's like there's not much resistance in the channel. And once your circle gets to a point where it's a little bit wider and you start to go past that channel, you'll feel like it shows up in your body a bit. So it's a very subtle refinement of awareness in your physical body. But see what is evident here for you. All right. Beautiful. All right, we're going to slowly make our way up to standing now and work with a little bit of activation through our legs. So let's just bring if you're on the ground, just sort of coming into this position, tuck your toes under and just lifting into your waterfall pose. If you're already standing because you were on a chair, just come into your waterfall. I'm just thinking it's my chair's in the front of that so we can see it. So just grabbing a hold, hanging forward, little bend through the knees, just Take a little shake side to side. Nice gradual opening up. Good. So it's even nice here just to feel the weight of your head and that lovely extension through your neck and your upper back. Whew. Good. All right. Let's come up onto the knees so that we come into a halfway pose, the modification of halfway pose, and press your shoulders back. So notice if you don't bring them forward, press them back so we broaden our chest, and just notice what your back is doing. Okay, so if your belly is, if you're dipping down, try and flatten the back a little bit more and notice the activation. Even if you just do that movement a few times, it's like a little mini cat and cow, holding your structure nicely in the upper body, so that's safe alignment and setting yourself up for good functional movement in your body. And then just bringing awareness into this power center. So we don't want to collapse ourselves forward so belly kind of flops to the floor. We want to hold it. Okay, so when we flatten the spine, we can feel a little bit of holding there. All right, so let's actually just do some nice dynamic breaths here. So just breathing in as much as you can to expand in the belly. Now, the back may dip a little bit for that. That's okay. And then as you exhale, let it round and flatten and squeeze that tummy in. All right. So it's not quite a breath of fire and it's not quite a belly breath. It's somewhere in between. Okay, so your belly breath's a bit more passive and slow. This is a bit more of an active and dynamic breath, but it's not as fast as belly breath of fire, which is that. Okay, it's not as fast as that. Just do really nice big full breaths with nice contraction as you squeeze tummy back to the spine on the exhale. Good, and then on the next exhale, sort of feel that back flatten, but then start to just roll yourself up to standing. Woo! I'm even feeling a little bit lightheaded from that. Okay, beautiful. Let's just do a little shake side to side, just nice flowing practice. Shifting that weight. Intensify the arms a little bit more. We're going to do another side stretch now. This time with our inhale breath to come into the side stretch, which is a little bit more intense for the upper part of the body. So take a breath in. Now let yourself exhale first. Your hands can be like this. Use your thumbs crossed over to kind of link them together. All right, and then breathe in again, side stretch. And then exhale, center, inhale, other side. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. All right. Let's exhale. Take those arms all the way down. Beautiful. Okay. All right. We're going to work with our head to knee pose. Haven't done this one in a little while. So just from your position here, step forward with the right foot. Make sure you feel nice and steady. And if you like, you can bring your hands into that interlaced or monkey grip position. All right. And then nice big breath in, extend through the spine, leading with the heart as we exhale and come down. Now just coming down to wherever the body guides you to. Hands can come away from the back if you're able to. And then looking forward, breathe in, push into your front foot to come back up. All right, we'll do that one another 3 times. So exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We might do 5 actually, so we'll do 2 more. Last one, you might feel you can go a little bit deeper each time as the body opens up. Good, all right. We're going to switch sides now. Get your stability through your feet first. Grounding always first. All right, straight leg for this practice. Now, just be mindful that this hip doesn't want to come forward too much. Really pull it back, okay? All right, hands into position. You can keep them on the hips if it's too much. All right, big breath. And then exhale. Keeping that spine nice and long. Don't collapse. All right, I'm going to show you a collapsed one, just so you can see it. So it's when you fold first and you collapse heart and then fold down like this. We don't want to do that, okay? We want to keep that heart leading away, shoulders back. We'll do 2 more. I feel like we need 1 more because of the practice. The sloppy one that I did. All right, let's come back up, step ourselves back. Give it a little shake. So I'm going to work with our warrior 1 now, just to stretch once again into those hip flexors. So let's start with right foot forward, left foot back. Now we're going to do it with a springy back foot this time. Okay, so fairly wide stance, as wide as you can, so that we can already feel a little bit of a stretch here in this hip flexor. All right, and then we're just going to sweep through the movement. So we might even just sweep forward and up. Now, if that feels a little bit hard on the balance, you could have your chair. I just want to show you the modification. I'll do it this way with the other leg, so you could have your chair and you could just have, or even a wall, okay? And you can do the practice, with a hand on the chair or the back of the chair, okay? So let's do it. I've got right foot forward, left foot back, okay? When you're ready, breathing in. Now, if you can, reach back a little bit. Good, and then exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. Breathing in. Let's do 1 more. Good. And finish up in this upright position. Let's swap our legs now. Feel that little spring. Good. When you're ready, breathing in. So I like that. Exhale through the mouth. Feels really nice, actually. And a little sound, if you like. Good. 1 more. Good. All right, take it up and then exhale. Step yourself or give those legs a nice shake. Whew. All right, want to do a little bit of work for the feet, okay? Because our feet are what connect us to the earth in every moment. And again, this is a nice way that we can really ask ourselves, what care do I gift? What attention do I give to my feet for all that they do for us. They hold us not only in our physical body, but they hold us and connect us directly to the earth in every moment, whenever we're standing. So let's just feel into our feet, just notice what tension might be present. What are the feelings of sort of stiffness? If there's any pain, if you've got any sort of arthritic type conditions, is there anything sort of showing up in that sense? What do you feel, as your feet just meet the floor right now before we kind of move into practice for the feet? Do you feel each of the toes connecting, or do some of them kind of lift up into the air? Do you feel that little space between the base of each of your toes? Can you connect into there? And how does it feel as all the energy of the feet sort of travels up into your ankles? So just some inner awareness there, connecting in with our body. And then another really important one is like just noticing, like, is one of your feet taking more weight than the other one? And what is needed for you to balance that out? Even just a little bit of awareness into the hips here. Okay. So let's start with just a little bit. Now this might be, so for some of you might want to sit down on your chair. You could. Or if you feel or you might need a wall if you get a little bit wobbly and you're not doing things on one foot. But I just want to bring, just be able to explore the movement on one foot at a time, just without the worry of that you're going to fall over. So do whatever you feel you need to. I'm just literally, I've got the heel lifted off and I'm just, close your eyes. It's actually quite interesting as I just roll over the ball of my feet, which is the front. I'm lifting my toes and sort of spreading them out wide. And I'm really connecting through this part of the front of the foot here on the ground. I'm just kind of rolling the ankle and do a little bit of side to side kind of movement as well. And just see if you can feel what muscles up your legs get activated from that. Do you feel like you're already starting to tire a little bit, like as you work and stretch into little muscles and ligaments that might not have been activated yet today? And then let's give that one a break because I'm feeling that. I mean, it's early in my day. Your feet might have done a bit more work than mine and be a bit more warmed up. So let's just do the same on the other side, just closing your eyes and just rolling over that front ball of the foot. Making sort of circles with your heel. And then feel how that travels up. You might feel it up the inner side of your leg. You might even feel a little bit of a nice stretch up the outside of your lower leg, your ankle, the top of your foot even. Maybe a little bit of a side to side. Do you feel any calf? Good. So it might be nicer on a nice smooth flat floor. After doing that practice, maybe hands on the hips. Just feel your feet now. Does it feel any different after we've done that? Actually, I remember on the spiky balls, and I used to do them all the time in class. And I sort of feel like it's a same sort of effect. You get that nice sense of a bit of a flattening through the feet, and more of the skin feels like it connects with the earth. Feet feel a little bit more relaxed. We sort of get rid of a little bit of tension through the feet. So staying where you are, I'm just going to step back into the middle. Let's just shift the weight now side to side with full awareness through our feet. Okay, and then I want you to feel as you shift from leg to leg with your weight, feel that energy travel up into your hip. Just be aware of that activation. So you might feel it like a pushing as you take all the weight onto one foot. Maybe bend that knee. So this leg's pretty much doing nothing. It's just kind of sitting there for a bit of balance. And now we're just really activating into that one standing leg, just bending it out to show you sideways. But this one's not doing much. It's just this other one on the ground. You might need to squeeze your buttock just to support yourself a little bit better there. It's actually quite intense just doing just that little movement. Would you? I probably haven't done a lot of exercise myself in the last. All right, let's change legs. So that now the other one's just really just offering a little bit of balance, and we're bending that back knee. And again, we want the glute, the buttocks to work a little bit here as well. So you might need to consciously squeeze a little bit into your buttock. Really getting a nice sense of connection into the earth. And again, notice how when we really press away from the earth, what do you feel coming up into your hip joint, into your pelvis, into your body? Let's do it with both. I'll give it a little shake first. Shake it off. Woo. All right, and then just a little bit like a chair pose, you could say, or maybe a bioenergetic grounding that I do. Let's do that, because that's a nice way to do it. All right, so always keeping a bend in the knees, and then just as you exhale here, feeling all that activation through the legs. And drop down. This might be a bit hard for some of you. All right, and then coming up. Don't straighten the legs fully. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And then come back up. Beautiful. All right, we're going to make our way down to the floor. I'm getting mindful of time. So we might come down onto our back. I'm going to lay my soft blanket down on my rug. So just rolling yourself down onto your back. And we're going to work with our windscreen wipers, but we're going to do it in more of a yin fashion. So you can have your arms spread out to the side or wherever it feels comfortable for you. And it's just really like dropping one knee. Now, if this is a little bit intense for you, holding it here in position, I should have actually said before we came into the posture, but if you've got a pillow or a bolster, you might feel like you want to have like a little prop there to support yourself. Sometimes you can find that you can use that foot, okay, with this, I've just got, it could be a foot. If it feels too much, especially your knees, so you've just got to play with this for a little bit and just find your spot. And I'm hoping that you can see me okay. I might just shift the camera and stand where you are. I'm just going to pop mine down a little bit so you can see my body. You're going to use one foot, my little cushion, and you might have something bigger. And I'm just going to sort of sit in this position. Now, I feel this is a really lovely stretch here into the hip flexor and the psoas. So that's what we want to aim at, sort of stretching into that area. I'm aware that it can be a little bit, you know, a little bit of an icky posture if there's challenges with your knees. So make that your priority to find your position of comfort for your knees first. And I'm just thinking, I think once you straighten that, it doesn't really work. I think you can probably extend that bottom foot out a little bit, and it still works quite nicely into that there. So we're just going to rest here for a couple of minutes. Just again, tuning the mind, gifting your body with your awareness. Always make sure that you practice in a way that feels safe for your body. If it gets too much, just simply bring the leg out for a little bit of a breather. And if it's okay, just bring it back in again. Actually, I find it a little less intense on the heel if you tuck this heel in fairly close to your buttocks, and so you fold. That actually seems to work a little bit better. if you've got concerns with your knees. So consciously breathe into your belly here. Mm. Mm. Just continuing with your breath, or also looking at the totality of the posture. So shifting what you feel quite okay with your knee and your leg and your hip flexor. Just shift the attention now to what is the rest of the body doing? How am I holding my head on the floor? Is there any little like repetitive holding patterns in your body that cause you to kind of contract the back of your neck a little bit as if you're trying to hold your head up? You might need to consciously take a big exhale breath and just let your head fully sink into the ground. Same with shoulders. Sometimes we have one or two shoulders that kind of throw forward. This repetitive hold. Just let them drop. Let's hold here for another 5 breaths. I can even feel it a little bit intense on my own knees, so just making a little bit of a modification for myself. And then when you feel ready, you can slowly just bring your feet back up. You might need to shuffle your hips to level it off again. And then we'll just drop the other side down now. Now I feel quite okay with a prop. More just to give you an example of what you can do if needed. Yeah, it's actually quite nice with the prop though, because it allows the body to drop into surrender a little bit more when there's that feeling of support there. However, keeping in mind that when we do that, it's a little bit more of a restorative practice than a yin practice. If you want to get a bit more into the fascia of the hip, just letting the body sort of hold and have that deep stretch can be really powerful. So our sacral area is the place that governs our capacity to tune into feeling and flow in our body. And so when we do practices like this, it's again another nice one to just get some of that life force energy flowing through the hips and the pelvis. Taking a few conscious big belly breaths. Something face. connecting with the breath. I can actually modify if you start to feel discomfort. Just getting ready to come out of this little twist. Slowly bring your knees back up together. So return the pelvis to the floor. And then just bring the knees into the chest in whichever way feels right for you. If you want to just have your hands on your knees or hug and squeeze. And then just have a little rock side to side. You might prefer to do something like happy baby. Whatever works for you. And then bring your knees away so that you straighten your arms. And we might actually just release the hands, but just so you've got the position of the legs. And join your knees together so that they actively press onto each other. And then just make very gentle little sacral rolls. You might feel your tummy muscles activate to support you here. I love this one. It's such a nice, gentle, but I think quite a potent practice because you can really feel to activate our strength at the belly, which helps us to hold ourselves. So this is, we asked that question at the start of class. What ways do I show up for myself? What ways can I hold myself? Or when I don't hold myself, what do I end up doing that I regret later? Just really take a moment just to feel, give yourself a pat on the back for the nurturing that you're gifting your physical body in this moment right now. All right. So when you're ready, you can just return your feet. Now, I invite you to, as we finish up our practice today, we have, how long? Yeah, it's probably don't have too long. I don't know exactly what time we started because of stop-start. So it might only be about 5 or 10 minutes. So you can either take constructive rest posture, I've got my knees together, or you can do a full shavasana and just have your palms facing up or your hands on your belly. And just allow yourself to fully receive this guided relaxation. So when you're ready, hopefully my internet, here's my internet is still working. So just taking a couple of breaths, arriving at the floor. Feeling sense of present awareness in your physicality. This manifested expression of your energy signatures. What is it that you create on a daily basis? What ways do you gift yourself? In what ways do you gift others? Let's take a little moment just to gift ourselves with connection into the earth and to source and to put a field of protection around ourselves. So in your mind, connecting with your breath, with your body. I want you to travel in your awareness down, 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 right down to the base of your body, through the root chakra, down through each of your legs, into your feet. And then I want you to visualize going beyond the physical container of your body. And imagine that there's energetic roots like a tree, sort of extending, reaching all the way down into the earth, through the layers, the crust of the earth, the soil, the rock, the caves, the aquifers, all the way into the center, the diamond center of Mother Gaia. And imagine that your roots sort of plug into that diamond center of the Earth Mother. And from this, you receive like a charge of nourishing energy into your body. Full support, full nourishment from that Mother Earth energy. You might even like to give it a color and visualize that that comes back up into your being, up through your feet, through the root energy center. And it permeates all the way, every part of your being, and it expresses itself in the heart space. Just hold it there for a moment. And then take your awareness on a little bit of a journey up to the heavens. So take it, you might even like to breathe in with it. So taking the energy up, 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 beyond the crown of your head, up through our atmosphere, all the way up, up, up into space, into the heavens. And you might then turn to your own visualization or representation of how that is for you, but you may wish to visualize like a golden thread of light, and see if you can sort of just follow that golden thread of light and see where it takes you. What's the furthest point that you can get to where you feel like you've reached this, like the source of light? And then imagine that you've got a key in your hand and you kind of lock yourself into place there. Imagine now that that energy sort of reciprocates, it comes back down, 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 all the way into your being. And you could even visualize it now like a waterfall of pure light energy streaming through the entire being, every cell, every molecule, every part of your being. And then see it arrive in the heart space and meeting with that nourishing divine essence of the earth. And imagine them sort of weaving together like a dance, like a union at your center. And then expressing outwards from the heart, like a big, almost like a radiating beam of light, big wide disc. And see where your mind goes, like how far can you extend that? Do you take it to, say, the edge of your aura, your energetic sort of field? Do you take it to the horizon? Or do you take it even further than that? And then I want you to imagine that within your being, that as you fill it up with this kind of loving essence of this like sort of divine unified energy, full with unconditional love. And it fills up every part of your energetic being into the field of your energetic being, and it therefore offers you a protection, like a protective field. Just allow yourself just a few more moments just to sort of bathe in the stillness of the moment. Lying in Shavasana, I'm going to invite you to stay there for, if you wish to take a little bit longer, another 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll just do it as a little bit of a meditation practice as I leave and close off the class. Just tune into this beautiful heart of yours and feel the connection between my heart and your heart and each of the hearts of the people that are in this container, in this portal. Connected together in the essence of showing up. This is exactly what we've been working on today, sort of showing up for ourselves. What a deep honor that is. That energy held in our hearts. May we have clarity in our awareness. May we feel an ease of natural, authentic expression. Right? And may we feel gratitude and abundance and joy and connection and unconditional love in our hearts. Just allow yourself to stay in the practice as long as you need. And look forward to hearing from each of you once you have completed it. Namaste.